All right, Rings of Power has dropped. We actually have some thoughts on what people think about this show, because that's what is really crucial, is how people feel about this show. Not how the critics feel. We know how they feel. Triumph. It's amazing, incredible. It's going to change lives. It's the greatest thing ever, if you ask a critic. A mainstream critic. Let me take that back. But how do audiences feel about it? Because they're the people that are going to keep this show going. And there's been an interesting reaction to it, and we're going to go over there. We're going to go over that in a second, but I wanted to give my thoughts on it. The show is very boring and slow, and at sometimes really fast-paced. The pacing is a problem. Definitely a lot of CW feelings, stuff like that. Nerdrotic pointed that out in his review, and he's right. A lot of feelings in hallways. And a lot of the actors and actresses are awful. Now, the biggest surprise, and the one good thing I'll say, is all of the dwarf stuff is good. The dwarf stuff for this show is actually pretty well done. I liked it. The music's good. All of the dwarves are good. I even ended up liking that controversial dwarf, the one that everyone's kind of been making fun of. She kind of won me over a little bit. I didn't think she was that bad at all. But everybody else is awful. Galadriel, Morfydd Clark, I think that's how you say her name. She is awful. This is Brie Larson 2.0. Every scene, she is angry at somebody. There's a moment where this guy saves her life, and she rolls her eyes at him, almost like they cut out a line of her saying, "I didn't ask you to save me." Now, she doesn't say that, but that's how it came across. She's always mad. 2 facial expressions the entire time she's on camera. The worst part of the show is anything that she's in. And she's in a lot of shit. Really dumb stuff she does. Jumps off a boat because she wanted to go. Well, she was sent to the immortal, undying lands. She jumps off the boat, literally not thinking about it. She's got to swim for weeks now to get back to land. It's incredibly. It just shows you how dumb she is, but they play it off like it's smart or something. The Harfoots are awful. Especially that he's a loud-ass activist actor. I don't know his name, but he's been running around like being antagonistic to fans, saying, "We're telling the story now." He's over the top. Some of it's like, I think the best way to say it is some of it is like watching bad theater. Some of the stuff just looks like it's bad theater, but all of the Harfoot shit I found boring. There's a homeless-looking Gandalf that shows up at the end. It's 100% Gandalf. He's not supposed to appear in this age, from what I understand, but he shows up with no memory, and he can't talk. And how they're going to play that off and say it works is because, well, he doesn't know he's Gandalf. He doesn't have any memory, so it's not really Gandalf. It's Gandalf. Those are my thoughts on it. The dwarf stuff is actually great. I liked all the dwarf stuff. I thought that stuff was pretty entertaining. The stuff with Galadriel is awful, 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 awful. The guy, the Black Elf storyline, I don't know his name, was okay. I think it's funny though that he's like in love with a single mom, and he takes her to go look at orcs for some reason, which makes no sense because she has no fighting power. But that was okay. But literally half of the show is the Harfoots and Galadriel, and they are the worst part of the show, particularly Galadriel. It makes it an awful show. So there are some redeeming things, but for the most part, the show sucks. And the audience score at 37% is pretty damn spot on. I would give the show, I'd give the show a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, somewhere in between. Because I did like the dwarf stuff, but it's got a lot of problems. It really does. Whether or not that changes over the next 8 episodes or whatever many are left. Yeah, there's 8, so the next 6 episodes. If that changes or not, I don't know. I don't know, but for the most part, the cast sucks. Morfydd Clark sucks. This guy, he's okay. The Elrond guy's okay because he was fun in the dwarf stuff. I don't think we've met this Queen Regent yet. The dwarf guy's good. I don't know. This is the single mom. So we'll see what happens. I don't have high expectations. I think the show's going to suck, and I think this 37% score is pretty spot on. Audiences are not digging the show. Critics, of course, are. I'm shocked that that's at 83%, though. It might fall down to 70, which would be something. How is this show going to compare to House of the Dragons? Well, House of the Dragons blows this show out of the water. House of the Dragon is a much better show. And not only is it a better show, it's made cheaper. It has nowhere near the budget of this show. And they made a show that's much better for a lot less. This is an interesting fight because we have 2 fantasy shows here. So they are going to be compared to each other. And I got to say, House of the Dragon is a pleasant surprise and actually really damn good. Rings of Power, not so much. House of the Dragon, made for a lot less and a lot better. Already got some controversies surrounding this show, by the way. The Hobbits have the Irish very upset because they have Irish accents, and they're displayed as filthy, hungry simpletons. They're gypsies. That's what they are. And they're calling this racist. I'm not going to read this whole article. We'll go over it for Flashcast and make fun of it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the show. And we'll see what happens. I don't have high expectations or hopes for the show. I will be doing watch parties on Twitch every Thursday for it. If you want to come watch it as a group, and we'll make fun of it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.